Hello and a very good morning to everybody. Today we will learn the practical aspects of how can we use UV visible spectroscopy. This this is a very important technique in order to analyze the nature of a particular analyte. First of all, as I've already studied in our theory classes, we know that spectroscopy is a technique or a tool which involves the interaction of any material or any matter with light or electromagnetic spectrum. And spectrophotometer is an instrument that uses the spectroscopy technique in order to analyze the interaction, the specific interaction between the light and the matter. So, particularly here in this lecture, we will study about UV visible spectroscopy, which involves the mediation of two electromagnetic spectra. One is called the ultraviolet spectrum and another is called the visible spectrum. So generally, UV range or ultraviolet range is basically in the wavelength of 180 to 400 nanometer, whereas the visible light is in the range of normally, generally 400 to 730 nanometer. And here we will be basically be involved in understanding the absorption spectra of a particular analyte or a particular sample. Now, we already have studied about the basic principles. I'll just go briefly into it. What happens is that when UV light or whatever light we interact, like particularly on the basis of this particular technique, when light passes through the sample, what happens? We know that sample contains electrons, right? So what happens? These electrons undergo electronic transitions. So you have already studied about the anti-bonding electrons, non-bonding electrons. So what happens? Pi to pi star, n to sigma star, n to pi star. So all these are electron transitions, which happens because electrons they absorb energy and they move from the ground state to the excited state. And when they basically come back from the excited to the ground state, the energy difference or the del E that corresponds to your absorption spectra. And the most important point regarding this particular spectroscopy technique is that every sample has a particular absorption maxima. So the best way in order to characterize a particular sample is by knowing its lambda max or by understanding that at which wavelength it will give its maximum absorption spectra. So basically what we do, we take a qubit and then we perform the experiment. And this particular spectroscopy is based on the law which you already know. It's called Beer-Lambert's law, where the formula for this Beer-Lambert's law is absorbance is equal to epsilon Cl, where epsilon is the molar absorptivity coefficient, which is specific for a particular sample. C refers to the concentration of the particular analyte, and L stands for path length, which generally we consider as 1 centimeter as a standard. So this is the Beer-Lambert's law. So log 10 of I0 by I, where you know that I0 is the intensity of the incident light and I is the transmitted light. So what we do is we correlate this particular equation with the epsilon C L. And for the instrumentation, we have a specific instrument which is called the UV visible spectrophotometer, where first of all we have two light sources. One is the deuterium lamp, which basically is for the UV region, and another is the tungsten filament lamp, which is for the visible region. So, and another is that the sample holder. Here in this particular spectroscopy, which we will basically perform today, it's a double beam spectrophotometer, which means that we have two holders. One is for the sample and this for the reference, which I will show you in the practical class. So, and also we know that qubits are present. Normally, we should always use quartz qubit whenever we are following or like whenever we want to analyze a sample in the UV range. Why? Because glass qubit or plastic qubits, if we use, that will absorb the UV light. So therefore, we will not be able to analyze the proper absorption spectra of a particular analyte. Therefore, we use a quartz qubit or a quartz glass qubit. Okay, and normally 1 centimeter qubits are the standard sizes that we use for the particular experiments. And this is the schematic layout. As you can see from this is a single beam spectrophotometer, where first of all what happens, the light passes through the collimator, then prism and the Wilber selector. What it does is it performs the function of spectral decomposition as it was already told to you. And what happens, this so this is basically the path or the step where the polychromatic light is being converted to the monochromatic light. And that monochromatic light, it passes through the cuvette where the sample is being contained, and that light which is transmitted is being detected by the detector. And This is a conventional split beam spectra. This is basically the dual beam spectra that we have in our lab. So what happens is that there are two particularly like setups. So first of all, there are two lamps. Tungsten lamp is for your visible range and deuterium lamp is for your UV range. What happens is that there is a slit. One is called the entrance slit, one is called the exit slit. So this particular slit acts as a monochromator. Why? Because this particular like apparatus that we're talking about, it's a diffraction grating. So what it does it will ensure that only one particular wavelength of light will pass through the sample. Okay, what happens? From the exit slit, the rays will go. There are two beams. One is for the sample, one is for the reference. So it's a complex setup. What will happen is that this light from the reference and from the sample will be passed to the photodetector. The data will be processed, and then in the computer, as you will see, that a graph will be generated. Now, this is a very important point. If you know the absorption spectra, then you can directly perform using a particular wavelength. But as Sir said, that whenever we want to know the nature of an unknown analyte, at that point, we have to use UV visible scanning mode. Because UV visible scanning mode is a particular function or a particular mode by which we can analyze the absorption maxima of an unknown analyte. Okay. And the applications are wide range. For example, if you want to understand about the DNA or RNA, then what we do the 8 to 60 by 850 ratio. That will give you that how much purity your DNA sample is. Suppose you want your you have extracted a DNA sample, you want to check the purity of that particular sample. So what you will do? You will do the 8 to 60 by 850 ratio. Why? Because 260 nanometer is the particular wavelength where nucleic acids are absorbed, whereas 280 nanometer is a wavelength where three amino acids, tryptophan, tyrosine, and phenylalanine, which are the aromatic amino acids, they basically absorb in this particular range. Next, we have pharmaceutical analysis. Suppose you want to test the purity of a drug. How much impurity is there? You can easily detect by using a spectrophotometer. Why? Because every particular drug has a particular absorption maxima. But if you get some other spectra or other peaks rather than your absorption spectra, then you will understand that your drug contains some impurities. Then we can go for bacterial culture. Normally, what happens? UV spectrophotometer not only can measure the absorbance, but also the optical density of a sample, which means the turbidity of a sample. How? What happens when the cells grow? What happens? The cells become completely turbid. That means the light cannot pass through each other. So at particular wavelength, which is basically 600 nanometer, we calculate the OD or the optical density of the sample, where we will be able to, by using a particular formula, we will be able to calculate the number of cells that are present in a particular sample. That is to estimate the turbidity of the particular sample. Then we have for the beverage analysis, the same thing. We can use it for impurity checking. Also, via UV spectroscopy, we can use it to understand the kinetics of reaction. What do I mean by kinetics? Kinetics basically, like suppose you are performing a particular experiment. If you want to do a time dependent analysis, then it is called kinetic experiment. Suppose you want to understand that with time, how the sample changes. Okay, so then what you can do? You can take the OD at 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, and so on. That is called the kinetic experiment. Suppose you wanted to find out how much product is being formed with time. So you can measure it by using a UV visible spectroscopy or spectrophotometer. So this is basically the absorbance spectra that you can see from here. And this is basically the 860 beta or the like the DNA and the protein spectra. This is very, very important, especially those who are working with the DNA, RNA, and proteins. And most importantly, the most important advantage is that this technique is non-destructive, which means it's a non-invasive technique. The sample has no damage while you are performing the experiment, and it's very easy to use. If you can know the like the procedure of usage, you can easily do it at any time. There is no problem in that. And today in this experiment, we will be testing two things. One is called the salicylic acid, and then is the 2-propanol. So solvent is your 2-propanol, and your solute is the salicylic acid. So this will be the experiment. I have already given you like known concentrations of like A, B, C, D, E, and another unknown is there. So you already know how to calculate the standard curve. So we will simply measure the OD of the solutions. We will calculate the standard curve, and from there we will be able to estimate the concentration of the unknown sample from the absorbance of the unknown. Okay, these are the required apparatus. We already know. First of all, is the spectrophotometer. Then we require a cuvette. test tubes or falcons. Then we have a measuring balance, then spatula, pipettes, and others. And first of all, whenever we want to like measure a spectrophoto or like take a reading, we must remember this, that the OD must lie between 0 to 1, especially in 0.2 to 0.8. Why? Because if it increases beyond 0.8, then somewhat non-linearity will be added in your particular like absorbance. So that can hamper your reading. So therefore, normally it should lie between 0 to 1. It should not exceed 1. Therefore, what we do, we prepare a stock solution. Okay. So stock solution is basically what we do is we have like already have stock like prepared a stock where I have taken 100 milligram of the salicylic acid into propanol and distilled water. Now you will ask me a question, then why have I taken 2 propanol? Why not directly in distilled water? Because salicylic acid is sparingly soluble in water. Okay, but 2-propanol is a polar organic solvent. So what it does, salicylic acid and 2-propanol, they are mixed together to form a solution, and that we make up or dilute it basically, or we do the volume makeup using the distilled water. And you know from the stock solution how to make dilutions using the formula called C1V1 equal to C2V2. Simple formula. So we'll use that particular formula to find out the different concentrations, and then you can. So I will also show you how to prepare a solution after we perform the practical. Also, I'll make you to do a solution. You can like practice it, and then so remember this, whenever we are calculating this dilution law, C1V1 equal to C2V2. So C1V1 is the stock. C1 means the concentration of the particular stock. V1 means how much volume you will take from the stock to dilute the sample. And V2 and C2 are the final, like final solutions. Okay. And this is a table which you will be like requiring for your like preparing your lab records. But this is the concentration in mg per ml, required volume of the solution, solvent, and other things. And whenever we plot a absorbance curve and concentration, this is a straight line plot. Y equal to mx plus c. C should not come. If it comes, then we have to again repeat the experiment because we will start from zero concentration. So therefore, intercept should not come in your standard plot. And let's do this, and we will after this we will take the attendance, and then we will go for the practical session. So this is a spectrophotometer device that we are talking about, and the most important thing is that, so as far as we have knowledge about spectrophotometers, it's basically a device that is used to measure the concentration or the nature of any important characteristic of an analyte. This is the first basic instrument. Moreover, this is a double beam spectrophotometer. The difference between a single beam and double beam is that in single beam, only one holder is there. Okay, only one holder. That means first you have to keep the reference, you have to take the OD or the absorbance, then again you have to take out, and again you have to take the sample and again take the reading. The problem with this instrument is that whenever you are trying to do this now, the calibration of the instrument sometimes will not be properly done. That means your calibration may be affected. That's why advancements have come. Double beam spectrophotometers have come into action. As you can see from here, just come a little bit here. This is your reference holder. Okay, this is your reference holder. This is a sample holder. Now, I will show you how a cuvette like looks like. Whenever we are placing the cuvette, we have to understand the light should pass through the transparent section. Now, what is a cuvette? Cuvette is simply a sample holder, nothing but. Okay. This is your cuvette. This is your cuvette. Now you see, an optica or a Q is written here. Okay, see that as you can see from here, Q is written. Q means it's a quartz cuvette. If suppose a company or a manufacturer gives you a cuvette, but the Q is not mentioned, it means that it's not a quartz cuvette. It's either a glass or a plastic, which will absorb your UV light, as I've already said in the previous class. That's why, and whenever you're holding a cuvette, you must ensure that you should not touch the transparent one, because light will pass from there. So if you touch here, the stain will occur. So your sample absorbance will be highly affected. So whenever you are holding the cuvette, be very careful to hold properly and in the opaque section, not in the transparent one. Okay. So first, what we need to do in order to at first, measure the absorbance, first we have to take the absorbance of a blank solution. What is a blank solution? Suppose you are dissolving sugar in water. So your water is a solvent and sugar is a solid. So blank means you have to calibrate or you have to tell your machine that this is my solvent. Simple as that.
Previously, what used to happen, if this is advanced machine, in normal spectrophotometers, if you go to other labs, suppose blank gives you a reading. Let's say 0.05. You have an OD, like absorbance of let's say 0.12. So what you have to do, in order to get the actual OD, you have to subtract that blank OD. But here in this machine, as it's an advanced machine, there is no need to do this like subtraction. Directly, the machine will do the calibration for you. That's the best advantage of here. Now, this is a machine, this is a screen, but normally we will operate from a computer screen. Now, this is a software key. Okay, without the software key, we will not be able to take use this particular software. So first, I will show you how the software looks like, and then one by one we will sample. Group 2. Just so this is a sample. These are your samples A, B, C, D, E, and U2. U2 is for the unknown. Okay. So whatever groups will come, you have to see that your that U2 stands for group 2. That's for reference. What happens is that whenever you are calculating the unknown concentration, you all know that you have to plot a standard curve. That means you have to first prepare the dilutions of unknown solutions. Now, why dilution? Because the OD must lie within the linear range of 0.2 to 0.8, maximum 1. If it goes beyond 1, what happens? Non-linearity will take place. So your graph will never be a straight line. It will be a curvilinear profile. And that we don't want. That we will never want for that. So for that purpose, we have to perform dilution. Now, depending on what, suppose you're diluting 10 times. So your actual concentration will be how much? That into 10. Here there is no need to perform dilution factor because it's already you are performing the diluted sample. But if you want to get the concentration of the original sample, let's say, suppose you have an original sample of let's say 5 millimoles per liter. You are diluting it 10 times. That means you are decreasing the concentration. So 5 by 10, it will be decreased 0.5. So to multiply that by 10, that means you will get the original one. Like suppose I given this solution, you have to get the original one, you have to multiply by the dilution factor. So how we will do this? First we will connect the software key. Okay, it's off. Switch it on. Meantime, what I will do, one minute.
किससे बंद होगा
फिर करना पड़ेगा फिर उसको एक देखिए कि आपका मॉनिटर पॉइंटर में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है तो ये फिर पूरा बंद करके फिर करना पड़ेगा इसको ऑन कीजिए
ये कैसे बंद हो गया यहाँ पे स्विच करें इसका प्लग कहाँ है ये देखो
ये कुछ शॉर्ट सर्किट बन जाता है ठीक है इसको एडिटिंग तो करेंगे ये हो रहा था लगने कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था ठीक okay so we'll start with the solution preparation so starting now so first of all when we are preparing a solution first what we will do we will wash it with the distilled water so why we wash it because in order to remove any impurity that we have in the solution what we will do is first we will take this cuvette we will take this distilled water gently what we will do we will fill this okay one more thing this is a 3 ml cuvette so sample has to be filled minimum half of the cuvette this above half that means at least 2 ml not in the above. You should not cross this optica like line. If you cross optica line, what will happen? It will spill in the spectrophotometer. The spectrophotometer will get damaged. That's what we'll see. How we're doing is, first we will gently do it. Again, we will keep 2 times. Okay. Normally we keep 2 times in order to remove the impurities. So what we will do, first we will take a tissue and we will simply fold it, and what we will do, we will keep it dry. Now, whenever we will do blank, remember this, we have to put the blank solution in both of them. Why? Because your reference sample both are same. If you put only one, if you don't put the other, what will think that there is no sample, so you will not get it ready. That's why when you will calibrate the sample, you or any kind of solution, you have to put both the cuvettes at the same time. For double beam spectrophotometer, single beam only one time. So meanwhile it will get dry, and I will show you how the software looks like. Let it be. Now I will show you how the software looks. This is our software key. We will insert this. Okay. Now we will go for this UV-Vis analyst. This is the software where we will get the OD. Now you can do any kind of analysis using this particular software. This is a connected software with the machine. Yeah, this already come. How will you understand? See, the red button is coming. Red button means, and this will come. That means the status report. This means that your machine is ready for spectrophotometer. Now, what are the functions? First, I'll explain one by one, and then we'll perform the experiment. See, there are lots of things. First, I'll show you this one. This is called back current calibration. We don't require it. When do we require? Basically, we have 2 lamps. One is called the deuterium lamp, and another is called the tungsten filament lamp. One is for UV, one is for visible. Sometimes what happens is that, let's say you have taken a sample, you have done a spectrophotometer reading, whatever you have, whatever sample analyzed. After that, what happens? Some amount of current remains in the spectrophotometer. That is called back current. Back current means from the supply, if it's remaining or retaining in the machine, that can damage your analysis. That can damage your detector, your photodetector. In order to avoid that part, we do back current calibration. Generally, it's not required, but when your machine ages a lot, or it's very in extreme use, then we need to use the back current calibration. What it does, it will calibrate or neutralize any kind of static charges present in this particular detector or spectrophotometer. Now what we will do, we'll have this one, automatic zero calibration. In this machine, the best part of here is that you can directly calibrate your blank to 0. There is no need to see Z0, automatic zero calibration. Okay, you can directly calibrate it to 0. Automatic zero calibration. Okay, so that is a very important point. Why? Because you don't have to subtract it from the blank. The machine will do it for you. Now you have mainly 2 types of analysis. One is called wavelength measurement. That is, in particular wavelength. Suppose you know that this is your salicylic acid. Normally the absorbance will be taken at 294 nanometer. Just note it down. At 294 nanometer, this is the lambda max of salicylic acid and propanol solution. We will take the absorbance at that part, 294 nanometer. Okay. Now the most important thing is that we have seen 2 functions. One is called the fixed point measurement. One is called the wavelength scan measurement. Fixed point measurement is used for those samples where already papers are there, or you know that this is the wavelength for a particular sample. Let's say chlorophyll. For chlorophyll, let's say 560 nanometer is the lambda max. So what is actually lambda max? Every sample has a characteristic absorption maxima, because the sample will absorb UV light. The sample will contain some aromatic compounds like ponds and etc. So every sample will have a maximum energy absorption or energy electron transition. That is called lambda max. Suppose you don't know the sample, you don't know anything about the sample, then you will go for the wavelength scan. See, the screen I've already opened for you. What it will do, it will scan from 200 nanometer to 1100 nanometer. It is almost up to the IR range. So you will get some information, not all, about the near IR, not the far IR. Because we are concerned about the near IR part. For IR, we will have another experiment that is called FTIR, which we will do in the later part. But here, for the wavelength scan measurement, what we will go, we'll always go for any unknown analyte or unknown sample. Okay. So what we will do, we will click here and we'll start the experiment. Okay, one by one. So first, I will prepare the blank for you guys, and then we will start the experiment. How we will do? Now, this is a very important step. Whenever you are touching it, be very careful that you should not touch the transparent part. Now, you simply wipe it off. Now, the technique of, see, this is an important technique. When you are wiping this particular cuvette, now, you should not scratch the cuvette. What do? You simply take this and you just gently rub it. Simply use, I'm rubbing it with the two fingers. Why? So that any scratch doesn't occur. Because if any still scratch occurs, what will happen? That can directly block your transmission or absorbance. And this we have already encountered in our previous experiments. That's why what we do, we simply gently rub it so that any scratch or any kind of problem doesn't come in the transparent part of the cuvette. Okay. So first what we will do, we will take the blank. How we will take the blank? This is a 3 ml cuvette. So normally we will, let's say we will take around 1.5 or 2 ml. Now what blank we are using? Just write it down. The blank we are using is 2% volume by volume 2-propanol solution. Now how it's prepared? See, this is a volumetric flask. So what is a volumetric flask? It's a particular type of flask where a graduation mark is there. This is particularly done when you are trying to prepare any solution with respect to volume by volume or weight by volume or normality solution. This is the most accurate, you can say, plasticware or glassware that we use for any kind of solution preparation. Now, how will you calculate 2% volume by volume? Whenever we are referring to percentage, it means around 100. So what we are doing? 2 ml of propanol, then 100 minus 2, how much? 90. So 90 ml of distilled water. Now why? As we have prepared the solution, because we have taken stock solution, how much? 100 milligrams, just wrote it down, 100 milligram of salicylic acid, 100 milligram of salicylic acid in 2 ml propanol, in 2 ml of 2-propanol, in 2 ml of 2-propanol, okay, and then followed by, we will volume make up to 100 ml using distilled water. Simple, because distilled water has to be used. Because, another thing. So you will ask me, sir, why we are not using 2-propanol completely? Because there is a particular term called esterification. Esterification means if you use the 2-propanol completely and if you store it for some time, then that will be converted to a compound called isopropyl salicylate. Write it down. It will be converted to a compound called isopropyl salicylate. So this isopropyl salicylate will have completely different characteristics. This will not be absorbing at your 294 nanometer. That's why we are diluting it with distilled water. We are first dissolving it what? With the polar organic solvent. Why? So that the salicylic acid gets completely dissolved. But for dilution purpose, we are using it basically with distilled water. So that we avoid or we block the esterification reaction. Clear? Okay. So now we will go for the experiment. How we will do? First, okay, this is a micropipette. Okay, so this is a micropipette. So what is a micropipette? It's just like a particular pipette. See, this is 100, T100. So T100 means you will be able to take only 100 microliter. Now this is called variable volume pipette. Variable volume pipette means what? When you are be able to move it. See, 0.95 means 95 microliter. Here in this particular case, see 100, it means 100 microliter. Now, as we will take 3 ml, so we will use 1000 microliter pipette. 1000 microliter how much? 1 ml. So we will take at least 2 times or 3 times, depending on how much we are performing. This is a practical. So we will. So this is a 1000 ml tips. This is the 1000 microliter tip. So what we will do? How can we do? See, this will do. Whenever we are doing, you must ensure that you are keeping it on the right track. See, 100. This mark should be coinciding with this particular mark that we are having. Here 100 means 1000. 100 means 1000 here for this particular variable volume pipette. So what we will do? We will take this Now, from the volumetric flask, what we will do, see, first is a single press, okay, then double press. Single press means when you are trying to withdraw solution, double press means when you are dispensing the solution. Clear? I'll show you now. See, first what you will do, single press, insert it here, you will see the liquid is been drawn. See, a single press I am having, the liquid is drawn. Now what we will do, we will simply put it here, first press, then again second press, again press. That means your liquid is dispensed. And you must ensure that your sample in the cuvette should not have any bubble. If the bubbles or air bubbles or if any bubbles are present, that can hamper your absorbance. Okay. So I will take at least minimum half of the cuvette. Will take some time. I must show you. So at least it's okay. So let me do one more time. So here. So up to this we can perform. So this is the first blank. So blank should be in both the holders. So this is suppose the reference holder. Let's see. So how will you put it here? You all of you come here. Now whenever you are putting this is a reference holder. Light goes to here. So your transfer section to be in this side. But before you put, you will take a tissue. So what you do is again you rub it so that any kind of water doesn't drop here. Now, whenever you are placing this in this particular sample holder, you must ensure that your transparent section faces the light source. So how you do? Simply put it here. That's all. But we have to do another part. So what I will do, I will just for my simplicity, I will transfer the solution for my simplicity. That's it. It's just for a simplicity, nothing else. Okay. So again the same process. How we will do? The same process. How so first what we will do? Single press. Okay. As it's the same solution, so we are not like change the tip. If the solution is changed, you have to discard this tip. Remember this. So, see bubbles are coming. So what we will do is we will just simply tap it off. It doesn't matter because bubbles like these are small bubbles. It's okay. Large bubbles should not come. These are experimental problems which you can. This is for practical only. When we do, we have to take care with the toothpick or something like that, or tape, sterile tape, so that no bubbles come. So what we will do is we will put this again now. This is a sample holder. So light is coming from here, right? So how we'll put this one? Will put like this, so that the transparent section and the light source intersects each other. So what we will do? We'll simply put it here. Now what we will do? We will go to this computer. First, we will give the wavelength as how much? 294. 294. Okay, 294 we have given. Now what we will do? We will go for this Z0 or the zero calibration. Whatever the value will come, it will automatically be recorded as 0 afterwards by the machine. So you will go for the 0. So remember, so like for the blank, what we have done in both the cuvettes and both the sections we have given the blank. But when we look at the samples, your reference will remain constant. Your only sample holder will change. That's it. Nothing else. Right. So Z0. You see, it will come automatically. Whatever value will come, it will be 0. Clear? Now, what we will do? Again, we will take out. So, which one we are taking out? Only the sample. Because the reference is constant now. So, you have done the blank part. Any queries or any questions? Please ask me. Okay, if you have any queries. You don't understand.
Yeah,
ब्लैंक में हमने और इसमें सेम रखा है, तो अगर वो सॉफ्टवेयर ऑटोमेटिकली सब्ट्रैक्ट करके दे रहा है तो जीरो आना चाहिए था।
नहीं, वो तो तुम्हारा वैल्यू जो है वो दिखाए। अब क्या होगा, बैकग्राउंड में वो कैलकुलेट करते हैं, मतलब ये हम लोग देख नहीं पाते, वो बैकग्राउंड में तुम्हारा मशीन जीरो कर देगा, इसलिए बोला ना ऑटोमेटिक जीरो। वो क्या करेगा, ये 0.074 को वो नेगेटिव करके वो माइनस, मतलब वो जो डेटा है तुम्हारा वो हटा देगा। मतलब अब जब तुम सैंपल पे जाओगे, व्हेन यू विल गो फॉर द सैंपल, वो एग्जैक्ट ओडी दिखाएगा, मतलब उसको सब्ट्रैक्टेड ओडी नहीं दिखाएगा।
अच्छा, मतलब पहले जब
हाँ
ये क्या करते हैं तो
हाँ, क्योंकि पहले जब ना पहला मॉडल जो था वो क्या था कि वो कभी ऑटोमेटिक जीरो नहीं करता, मतलब वो ब्लैंक कोड ही दिखाएगा, तुमको हाथ से माइनस करना पड़ेगा। बट यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि ये जो तुम्हारा ओडी है, ये जो तुम्हारा अब्जॉर्बेंस जो भी वैल्यू होगा, वो ऑटोमेटिकली वो आप क्या बोलते हैं, वो नेगेट कर देगा। यहाँ पे देखो नेगेटिव हो गया, नेगेटिव मतलब वो आएगा ही नहीं, नेगेटिव मतलब वो इग्नोर ही करेगा। ये सैंपल में अगर नेगेटिव है तो वो गलत है तुम्हारा, बट इसमें अगर नेगेटिव है तो कोई फर्क नहीं है, क्योंकि वो ब्लैंक है ये। बट सॉफ्टवेयर को देखो, इट्स अ कंप्यूटर, सो यू हैव टू एंश्योर दैट योर सैंपल एंड द डिफरेंस इज सेम फॉर द ब्लैंक। अगर तुम अलग अलग दोगे, ब्लैंक होगा तो डेफिनेटली ब्लैंकिंग होगा नहीं ना। तुम अगर इसको जीरो करेगा तो पूरा गलत होगा, क्योंकि सैंपल फिर तुम्हारा गलत ओडी देगा। दैट इज हैव टू एंश्योर दैट व्हेन यू आर ब्लैंकिंग एनीथिंग, you have to keep the same solution in both the samples, like both the reference and the sample queue. Okay, so what we will do, acha, so will we use this tip? Anybody shall we use this tip? Tip shall we use it? No na, why? Because we will discard it as we are using the dilution solution. Good. So let's open it, let's take it. So it's very simple. So the same procedure. Can so I'll show you one. You can handle the others then. But be very careful. These are very costly. This is for 50,000. One pair of keyboard is 50,000. So that's why I have to be very careful about it. Okay, ठीक है? तो ये तुम्हारा मान के चलो ये A सेल, तो हम लोग A तो नोट कर लेना। हाँ, so this please note in your copies. Don't worry. So ये हम क्या करेंगे, सैंपल में दे रहे हैं, so what we will do, we will simply put it here. Okay, now this is over, blank is over, so हम लोग क्या करेंगे, सैंपल में जाएंगे, we'll go for sample. Now we will go for start, whatever OD will come that will be happening. Now this is a practical class, so whatever OD will come will record. After that we will check that whether it's crossing 1 or less than 0. Depending on that we will discuss and make the corrections if necessary. 0.1665. ओके, आ गया, लिख लो। अच्छा है 0.1665, दैट इज माय सॉल्यूशन, राइट। ओके, सो गॉट इट। नाउ व्हाट यू विल डू, एनीबॉडी स्टार्ट। ओके, चलो वो करो, यूज करो, टपाओगे और लिखो ना, क्या करोगे इसको, नहीं पहले क्वेश्चन से पूछना, फिर क्या करना, डिस्टिल वाटर से डिस्टिल। सो whenever you are using the sample, you must after one sample clean it with distilled water, then you move on. So I'll handle the curate, you just give me the solution. So 2 बार क्लीन करना मिनिमम। अच्छा, इसमें एक्चुअली क्या करना चाहिए, जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस, whenever we are dealing with any organic solvent, we must use absolute ethanol. Here already the amount of propanol is very less, that's why I am cleaning it with distilled water. But normally whenever you are working with any solution, you must clean with this absolute ethanol. This is very important. Okay, why? Because in order to remove any organic impurity, distilled water will help you to remove any soluble impurity, but organic impurity will be removed by this absolute ethanol. Okay, तुम लोग का चेक ना किट में चेक करो चाहिए कि मेरा इतना काम है सब चेक करो इट्स नॉट ड्यू चेक करके अच्छा so this is sample B okay so what we'll do think of a sample B now अच्छा before that just tell me the steps intentionally I will be missing what to do after this sample you must wipe it off okay so I will be missing steps you have to tell me the steps otherwise your data will be wrong okay चलो क्या करना है आराम से ध्यान से करना है इसको then what we will do again we'll go to start 19186 ठीक है लेकिन काम ये तुम ये काम करो भी कर लो दो भी कर लो बराबर नहीं बस like whatever is coming let it come we will set first of all check it and then we'll correct it afterwards it should not come actually it's okay just for testing we will see it download it again So whatever is coming, let it come for teaching. Then I will give you the actual values. Just for teaching purpose, I am telling you. Now you should understand now what are the wrong that we are also having. That's why intentionally I didn't dilute it, so that you can understand. But sometimes when you are working on, you have to check it, like whether it's coming or not, right or wrong. Okay, we have kept it here. So let me check. Yeah, it's okay. Again, go to start. That means okay 0.3032. Now there's a mistake in here. This is a standard curve. Okay, so this is also an important note you have to understand. That's why I've prepared the solution in such a way that you will understand that what is a wrong in data. I'll give you the correct data, don't worry. What is happening? We have diluted the solution now. I've given you A, B, C, D, E in increasing concentration. So your OD should increase linearly. But what is happening is varying. That's why for that only I have like tried to show you that whatever, suppose we are doing, like suppose we are following a protocol. This is not I have taken one particular paper itself. But the problem is all times the protocol will not work. You have to like use your intelligence and common sense. In this part, you have to understand that something is wrong because it should come in a linear way. Or if suppose other values are coming linearly, you will discard it. It's called outlier. Suppose 5 values are you're taking, out of only 1 value is not there, don't take the 4 values. So we have done this C, right? Now we'll go for D. Parvita, you mistake and hold a sample for me. सर ये समझ आ रहा है तो मत कुछ लास्ट में तुम करोगे सब लोग करेगा, मतलब ये क्यूबेट है तो इसलिए वी कांट हेल्प यू, बट डोंट वरी, पिपेट हैंडल कर सकते हो माइक्रोवेव्स, गुड। तो एक तुम करोगे, ये लास्ट में डी होगा, तो ई और यू2 को तुम लोग कर लेना, ठीक है? चलो डाउट है सर, हां बस any problem you have, any problem or any queries, please ask me. This is very important practical, you will be requiring it in your related series. And remember this should be in 75% minimum. अच्छा यहाँ पे देखो, सीरीज बबल है, you must what you do, simply you use a tip, see use a tip, आराम से देखो आ गया ना, देखो ये चला गया, बबल था, मैं क्या किया, टिप से थोड़ा नीचे किया, क्योंकि अगर बबल आएगा तो दैट विल हैम्पर योर अब्सॉर्बेंस, बिकॉज़ हाँ नहीं, आराम तुम अंदर कर रहे हो ना, बाहर तो नहीं कर रहे, आराम से कर रहे हो अंदर से, अगर ज्यादा करोगे तो स्क्रैच होगा, इसलिए हम लोग हल्का से कर रहे हैं, ओके? तो हाँ ये बंद कर दो, सो डी हो ना, ये डी है, वन से ज्यादा नहीं है, ओके 0.385, गुड, ओके? सो सैंपल 4 इज 0.385, साइन के बाद क्या होगा, अरे आप तुमको ये क्या ई करोगे, ठीक है? अच्छा तो तुम्हारा नाम क्या है, तुम्हारा नाम क्या है, अर्पण, तुम करोगे नेक्स्ट, अच्छा इसके बाद क्या करना है, सैंपल आपको डिस्कस करने के बाद क्या करना पड़ता है, डिस्टिल वाटर से वॉश करना पड़ता है, ओके? ऑलवेज टू वॉश विद डिस्टिल वाटर, ओके? ये वेरी क्लियर, it will take some time, so bear with me, okay? Because ये टाइम लगता है, ये प्रैक्टिकल बहुत थोड़ा टाइम टेकिंग प्रैक्टिकल, so your time allotted is very less, but we will try to make it learn it everything, each and every component, करो ना, गुड, वो थोड़ा प्रिपेयर करिए, करो, गुड, ये पूरा इतना से भरना है, 75% से भरना है, ठीक है? इसका ये फोटो पता है, टैग सब एबीसीडी बस देख लेते हैं, आने को बता दूंगा, गुड, बहुत अच्छा करते हो, गुड, ठीक है? आगे ना सब कुछ अच्छा, इसमें बबल आया, इसका कोई बात नहीं, थोड़ा देख कैसे करते हैं, तो थोड़ा ज़्यादा नहीं, ये चाहिए, अच्छा this is I'm doing just for practical purpose, when you are doing research or doing practical experiments, छोटा टिप होता है ना, that one magnetons का, so use small tips to clear the bubbles, otherwise you can, like as he said, you can make statics, so when you are doing it, very careful, इसके बाद क्या करना है, वापस इशू से पोस्ट करो, या गुड, चलो तो क्या करते हैं हम लोग, बस पोंछ के डाल देना, तो ये सैंपल ही है ना, ठीक, चलो करते हैं क्या होता है, देखते हैं, हाँ अच्छा आया, मतलब वो जो रीडिंग है वो डिस्कार्ड कर देना, रीडिंग डिस्कार्ड कर, टाइम तो लगेगा सर, आज का प्रैक्टिकल तो टाइम लगेगा सर, ये हैव टू टेक टाइम, ओके? अर्पण आ जाओ, 0.4790 सैंपल ई, और ये तुम्हारा अननोन है, मतलब स्टैंडर्ड कर्व से करोगे, स्टैंडर्ड कर्व से तुमको प्लॉट करना है, तुमको एक्सपेरिमेंट 1 में सिखा दिया था, वो ऑलरेडी वीडियो अपलोडेड है, अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो यू कैन कम टू मी एंड शो यू हाउ टू पुट इट, एंड द इंटरसेप्ट सर सेड इट शुड बी 0, let's set intercept why, because from 0 position we are starting, so intercept अगर आएगा तो वो गलत नहीं है, बट वो होना नहीं चाहिए, हाँ ये कहाँ है, ठीक, क्या करना है, पर इसे निकालना है पहले, इसको डिस्कार्ड करना है, गुड, तो पहले डिस्कार्ड होना पड़ेगा, because these steps are very important. दो बार एक क्या करना है सोचना है ठीक है हो गया हाँ अभी तो कैसे करोगे अंदर अंदर डालो हाँ बिल्कुल गुड ऐसा करके और करो हाँ This is a good technique. Using two hands. Good. एक हाथ नहीं करने से हाँ इतना में हो जाए और थोड़ा ज़्यादा ये ग्रुप टू हो जाएगा फिर ग्रुप टू तुम चले जाओ उसके बाद बार तो अभी अच्छा एटा का थोड़ा नीचे हो जाएगा हाँ ये दूसरा कर दो तो हो गया अब क्या करेंगे स्टार्ट जो आएगा आएगा इसको तुमको ये करना पड़ेगा 5 से 6 दिस इज अननोन सैंपल तो इसको मतलब तुमको क्या करना है लास्ट तो तुमको क्या करना है by using the standard curve you have to plot the get the concentration of this particular OD clear तो वो जो सैंपल टू उसको हटा दो बाकी तो सब सही आया हो गया तुम्हारा स्टैंडर्ड कर्व हो जाएगा
4 सैंपल लेकर स्टैंडर्ड कर्व बनाएंगे
हाँ कोई दिक्कत नहीं मैं और सैंपल तुमको दे दूंगा मैं और सैंपल को रेडी है ठीक है हो गया है सो नेक्स्ट वीक सरस्वती ये चले जाओ फटाफट डिस्कस कर दो हाँ कॉल ग्रुप 3 को बोलो कि तुम लोग जो लिए हो वहां से हमने हाँ
এটা নিয়ে চলে যাবো আমরা
अरे चलो এটা নিয়ে একটা কাজ করো এটা নিয়ে একটা কাজ করে এটা গ্রুপ 3 बाकी लोग कहाँ ग्रुप को अलग सबका ये वाला तुम्हारा रेफरेंस का है हाँ बैंक क्या होगा इशू करो आप सब लोग पूरा नहीं और तो तुम लोग समझ गए ना बाकी चीज को समझ गए so you have to like put listen to the particular session that we are having ये कुछ सुना तो मैं बेसिक बता दूंगा पर टाइम अभी कम है हमारे पास चलो कैसे बोलते हैं so this is called a cuvette okay this is a cuvette this is a quartz cuvette so why this is a quartz cuvette because UV लाइट में क्या होगा अगर ग्लास या प्लास्टिक यूज करेंगे तो एब्जॉर्ब कर लेंगे उस पर दिक्कत क्या होगा वो रीडिंग आएगा ही नहीं तो हम लोग क्या किए हमारा सॉल्वेंट क्या था अच्छा लिख लो द स्टॉक सोल्यूशन वाज प्रिपेयर्ड ठीक है वो लिखिए द स्टॉक सोल्यूशन वाज प्रिपेयर्ड बाय dissolving 100 milligram of salicylic acid in 2 ml of 2-propanol and the volume was made up, and the volume was made up to 100 ml, and the volume was made up to 100 ml using distilled water. ब्लैंक का मैंने ऑलरेडी, मैं और ब्लैंक नहीं बताऊंगा, ब्लैंक तो ऑलरेडी बता दिया मैं, बस ओवरव्यू, लाइक आई विल गिव एन ओवरव्यू नाउ. द फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट व्हाई वी हैव टेकन like salicylic, why we have taken 2-propanol and again distilled water, because first of all salicylic acid is an organic compound. It is sparingly soluble in water. Remember this, it is sparingly soluble. इसका मतलब क्या है कि वो पानी में डिसॉल्व होता नहीं ठीक से. That means it's very not soluble in water. Okay, what you do whenever something is not soluble in water, you have to solubilize in an organic solvent. Like when you go for a project, you have to understand these things. एज सैलिसिलिक एसिड का स्ट्रक्चर क्या है, तुम लोग कुछ पढ़े हो ना फिनॉल के बारे में, फिनॉल ग्रुप्स, COOH ग्रुप्स. सो बेसिक सैलिसिलिक एसिड हैज अ फिनॉल ग्रुप एंड अ कार्बोक्सिलिक ग्रुप. सो इट्स अ फिनॉल एंड अ कार्बोक्सिलिक लाइक एसिड बेसिकली. सो द फिनोलिक ग्रुप OH and the COOH group both contribute to the absorbance at this wavelength 294 nanometer. Why? Write it down. Pi to pi star electronic transition, pi to pi star electron transition occurs in the wavelength of 294 nanometer, which is contributed by the OH group and the COOH groups of the salicylic acid, by the hydroxyl group and the carboxylic acid groups of the salicylic acid. ठीक है, ये याद रखना. ओके, अब थोड़ा इधर आओ. दिस इज अ डुअल बीम स्पेक्ट्रोफोटोमीटर. डुअल बीम का मतलब क्या है, यहाँ पे दो होल्डर होता है, एक सैंपल का, नहीं रेफरेंस का, रेफरेंस एक सैंपल. तो इसमें एक सबसे फायदा क्या है, लाइक इफ यू आर like using a single beam spectrophotometer, first what you do, one holder only there, so first you put the reference and then you put the sample. The problem is that the calibration efficiency of this particular single beam spectrophotometer is much less as compared to double beam. That's why in double beam you can do both the things simultaneously. First what we do, we have already done, so I have little lack of time and I'm not doing it. This is a blank solution, so let's write it down. Blank we have taken, in blank we have taken 2% volume by volume 2-propanol solution, aqueous solution. इसका मतलब क्या है, 2 ml तुम्हारा 2-propanol रहेगा, 100 से माइनस करके कितना आएगा, 98 ml. तो वॉल्यूम बाय वॉल्यूम का मतलब है कि परसेंटेज के हिसाब से 100 के हिसाब से तुमको कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा. अब क्यों? क्योंकि ब्लैंक का मतलब है whatever solvent you are using to dissolve your solute, that should be used to calibrate your machine. अगर तुम कोई और कर रहे हो, the ODs that will get, the absorbance will be wrong. अब हम UV visible करते क्यों हैं? करते इसलिए दो कारण के लिए. एक, to know the concentration of a particular analyte or to know the nature of a particular analyte. कैसे करोगे? देखो मैं अभी आपको दिखा देता हूँ. ये जो तुम्हारा ऑप्शन है Z0 is called automatic zero calibration. Okay. First, what we will do, we have already done for the group 2. What we have done is, first we have taken in both the cuvettes, both the holders, blank. Why? Because in both the things, if you don't keep, then the machine will think that the sample is not there. So your calibration will not be properly happening. So automatic zero means, normally in normal spectrophotometers, a reading is given for the blank. Now, whatever OD you get or absorbance you get for the particular sample, you have to subtract that. But here it's not required. जो आएगा तुम्हारा OD में, blank में automatic zero का कर देगा. That will negate the particular thing. Now what you do, there are two settings. One is called the fixed point measurement, another is called the wavelength scan measurement. ठीक है? The thing is that fixed point measurement means when you know about the particular sample characteristics. Every sample, remember this, every sample has a characteristic absorption maxima, lambda max. I think I've studied in your theory classes. Why? Because every compound has electrons, they undergo electronic transition. At a particular wavelength, they reach the maximum. There is an energy band gap is maximum in that particular case. For that reason, what happens? We use this absorption maxima. But इफ यू आर नॉट अवेयर, कोई अननोन सैंपल तुमको दे दिया गया है, क्या करोगे? उस समय में हम लोग करेंगे, देखो, वेवलेंथ स्कैन मेजरमेंट। देख रहे हो, ये क्या करेगा? फ्रॉम 200 टू 1100, मतलब फ्रॉम यूवी टू नियर आईआर इट विल डिटेक्ट। बट आईआर हम लोग करते क्यों नहीं है? बिकॉज फॉर दैट अनदर इंस्ट्रूमेंट कॉल्ड एफटीआईआर, वी विल लर्न इट, डोंट वरी। यहाँ पे हम लोग यूवी विजिबल में बात करेंगे। नाउ व्हाट वी विल डू, फर्स्ट we will calibrate the blank, whatever blank is there blank जो भी होगा हम लोग डायरेक्टली blank को करेंगे। 200 नोट है तो ये तुम्हारा पहले blank रहेगा, तो ये ऑलरेडी मैं दिखा दी इसीलिए। सो फर्स्ट what we will do is we will go for the blank, so blank we have already done, so we will directly go for the calibration। so how to take? So whenever we are dealing with this cuvette, it's a 3 centimeter cuvette. Okay, that means half should be filled minimum. That means 75% of the cuvette should be filled with a particular solution. Clear? The sample whatever you say. So, do you know how to use a micropipette? Anybody? Okay, come. Anybody? Come and help me. Help me. अच्छा, सबसे पहले क्या करना है? Whenever we are dealing with this particular thing, we will first wash it off. Now what we will do, as we have done a setting mistake, we will simply take it out, take a little bit of the blank, बोलो क्यों प्रॉब्लम है? हाँ, ये काम करो, नहीं कोई बात नहीं, सो पकड़ो, इधर तो पकड़ो, हाँ जी तो पकड़ो, आसान होता है, हाँ नहीं पकड़ना है, ओपेक साइड में पकड़ना है, हाँ उसको पोछना पड़ेगा अच्छे से, तो थोड़ा ये तो अच्छा, एक बात कहना है, whenever you are holding a cuvette, you must hold in this side, like in the opaque side, not in the transparent side, क्योंकि stain आ जाएगा तो कुछ नहीं होगा। ये उठाओ, कैसे उठाओ? इसको हम ये करेंगे, तो इसमें हाथ लगेगा तो हम क्या करेंगे? We will simply cut it off. Any queries or any questions? Please stop me, okay? Whatever questions you have, please stop me. ठीक है, हो गया? ये पहले ब्लैंक का कर लेते हैं, उसके बाद वो लोग देखेगा तो हम लोग करेंगे। देखो एक बार आओ फटाफट। Whenever you are putting this ना, you have to see the light's first direction. लाइट यहाँ पे जा रहा है तो ट्रांसमिट कहाँ पे बैठेगा? यहाँ पे बैठेगा। सैंपलर कहाँ जा रहा है? मैं गलत बैठाया, इसीलिए मैं जानबूझ गलत बैठाया। क्या करना है? ऐसा, तो ऐसा पकड़ना पड़ेगा। क्यू और ऑप्टिका जो लिखा हुआ है, ये तो ट्रांसपेरेंट साइड, तो यहाँ पे बैठाना पड़ेगा, बस हो गया। तो पहले क्या करना है? जब भी हमको कोई नैनोमीटर में करना पड़ेगा, वी हैव टू गो फॉर द Z0 कैलकुलेशन, जीरो कैलकुलेशन, ऑटोमेटिक जीरो, सिंपल एकदम। वो जो आएगा आने दो, उसको कोई फर्क नहीं है, जो आएगा आएगा। हो गया, काम खत्म। अब हम करेंगे सैंपल के एनालिसिस। तो सैंपल में एक बहुत आसान चीज है, डुअल बीम में ब्लैंक तो ब्लैंक की तरह रहेगा, बस सैंपल को उठाना है, फेंकना है, देना है सैंपल, बस यही तुम्हारा एनालिसिस, और कुछ करना नहीं, ठीक है? समझ आ रहा है ना मैं क्या क्या बोल रहा हूँ? So what you do? You discard it. Now, always you must wash with distilled water, but when you will go for your project or whatever, you must wash it with absolute ethanol. क्योंकि absolute ethanol में organic impurity जाएगा, ये तो तुम्हारा soluble impurity के लिए, but organic solvent में organic कोई impurity के लिए हम लोग we will use the absolute ethanol जो यहाँ पे रखा हुआ है। अभी टाइम कम है इसलिए we will be little bit fast now. फटाफट करो ना, अंदर थोड़ा हेल्प करो, टाइम एक एक काम करो। ये उठाओ, तुम ये उठाओ और अंदर ही वो तुम पेंटिंग करो। हाँ, ये टिप को डिस्कार्ड करो, टिप को डिस्कार्ड करो, डिस्कार्ड करो। इधर टिप कर दी है तो आराम से करना, ध्यान से। हाँ, ये 100 है ना, 100 में 1000, अच्छा इसका दिखा देना। दिस इज अ माइक्रोपिपेट, ओके? Now, this is 1000 microliter pipette. 1000 microliter means 1 ml. Okay. Now, see the setting is already 101. It should not be. It should be 100. It's called a variable volume micropipette. See, 100 means 1000. 100। तो ये यहाँ पे है। फिर अनुप्रिया को उठाओगे, एक एक उठाना। यूजर माइक्रोफोन गुड इंपॉर्टेंट। गुड। तो पहले क्या करना पड़ेगा, सिंगल प्रेस टू विथड्रॉ, फिर डबल प्रेस। पहले से प्रेस करके दबाना है उसको, ठीक, आराम से ये विथड्रॉ करना है। गुड, होगा, बस दे दो फटाफट अंदर में, उसका अंदर में। अभी फिर लगेगा ना, और लगेगा जब तक ये 75% से ऊपर ना लगे, ये सब ध्यान रखना है। सेक्शन ए लिखा, ए बी सी डी ई, ए नहीं क्वेश्चन बाद में बता देंगे, वो बाद में बता देंगे। सब दे दो मैडम के लिए, आई विल गिव यू टेबल, डोंट वरी, डोंट वरी। और थोड़ा ज्यादा नहीं। ठीक है, गुड। चलो अब क्या करना है, अब देखो यहाँ पे एक चीज हुआ है, पहले तो इसको पोषण तक पड़ेगा। गुड, हम लोग तो पोषेंगे अच्छे से। देन व्हाट टू डू, मैं ठीक इसका ठीक है, चलो कोई बात नहीं। अब ये खाली टिप से, हाथ से क्या करना है, छोटा टिप से ये बगल को ध्यान से थोड़ा नीचे करना है, इसको ध्यान से नीचे टैप करना, भागे ना, बस थोड़ा, ज्यादा नहीं, ज्यादा फोर्स देने का मतलब ही नहीं है, टूट जाएगा। चलो ठीक है, हो गया। 75% इज डन। हम लोग ना फास्ट जाएंगे अभी, बस ये हो गया, हम लोग बैठा दिए। क्यू ऑप्टिका शुड बी इन द लाइट पाथ, ठीक है। बस पहले हम क्या करेंगे, ए सैंपल, याद रखना ए सैंपल 0.178 है, लिख लो ये, ठीक है। दैट विल बी फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड पर। तो अभी अनुप्रिया तुम आ जाओ, उर्मी तुम करना, अंजलि थोड़ा हेल्प करो उसका, तो तुम तो किए, सब लोग एक एक करके करेगा। एवरीबॉडी विल हैव अ चांस टू यूज माइक्रोवेव, बट ध्यान से करो, रिक्वेस्टेड सर्कम्स, ध्यान से। सो इसको देखो तुम क्या करना है, पसंद कर देखो। अच्छे से स्टार्ट करना है जब भी करोगे। सी व्हेन यू आर डूइंग दिस वन, बी वेरी केयरफुल विद द कीवर्ड्स। हां दे दो, ठीक है, करो, करते जाओ। संजय अनुप्रिया, यू सी वेदर थिंग्स आर तुम्हारा आप है गौरव, and you also ज्यादा ना, are understanding what I'm saying? Something I mean, like probably Hindi, you don't understand, please stop me there. बस हो गया, खत्म, और कुछ नहीं। See, when you are washing, when you're wiping it ना, take 2 fingers and take B sample ना, ये B sample। ऐसे क्वेश्चन मिलेगा, ध्यान से पढ़ के आना। एक्सपेरिमेंटल क्वेश्चंस हाँ, 2 गुड। सिंगल प्रेस फिर डबल प्रेस करो, फिर सिंगल प्रेस करो, फिर डबल प्रेस करना, आराम से करो, फिर करो। इसीलिए तो मैं करवा रहा हूँ ना, ग्रिप तो तुम्हारा है नहीं, इसका अच्छा ग्रिप है इन दोनों का, इसलिए आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक यू ऑल वर्क इन प्रैक्टिकल। बहुत खराब है तुम्हारा प्रैक्टिकल, करो। जब भी करोगे ना, जब भी दोगे थोड़ा, हाँ करो, कोई बात नहीं, करो। नहीं करोगे जिंदगी में सीखोगे नहीं, करो। देखो जब कर रहे हो थोड़ा दूर से डालो, गुड। एक्सपर्ट है इसीलिए कोई दिक्कत नहीं होता है। अब क्या किए, ये तो हो गया, ठीक तो होना पड़ेगा, ठीक तो भाई ध्यान से करना, ठीक है, स्क्रैच मत लगाना। सिखाने की टाइम तो लगता है, चलो ठीक है, चलो हो गया, खत्म, बात खत्म हो गई। लिखना है और उसको वहां रखे दो संस्कृत हेल्प करो उसको ओके सो नाउ वी विल गो फॉर द सी सैंपल ये वाला सी सैंपल है वाह अच्छा है भाई बेस्ट है कब के लिए अच्छा है ठीक है हो गया चलो कौन कौन है नेक्स्ट फिर लास्ट में तुम करो संस्कृत वी विल डू पिपीटिंग वाला वाह तुम भी ग्रुप में हो क्या है तुम भी ग्रुप में हो चलो रिश्ते वाला गुड ये तो बताना है अरे बी क्या क्या बी बाबा वो डी याद रखना है तुम लोग ने मैंने खुद ही बनाया है गलत गलती मत करना नहीं तो मैं मार्क्स नहीं दूंगा बस issue करो इस पे आगे को इस पे issue करो ये बना दिया जब दे रहो ना तो वो कितने अच्छे से दे रहे आप उसका नोट है नहीं जब दे दोगे तो और थोड़ा माने जब दोगे ना थोड़ा गैप से देना ताकि वो सॉल्यूशन ड्रॉ ना हो जाए तो इसका हाथ बहुत अच्छा है ये दोनों का क्या है इसके साथ वो तो पता चलेगा नहीं तुमको पता नहीं आप ड्रॉ ऐसा पता अब पता चलेगा ना कोई बात नहीं करो आराम से हाँ हाँ दो बस हो चल खत्म स्पॉट टैप करना है चलो ये एक्टिव साढ़े 12 बजे का नहीं निकालो चलो लोग को डालो यहाँ सब लोग रुकेगा एक दिन में रुकना पड़ेगा चलो ये डी है ना हाँ अच्छा है यहाँ पे C581 ठीक है आगे C581 आगे देखो एक ही चांद सैंपल है बस सबका अलग अलग आ रहा है दैट मींस क्या है ये गड़बड़ नहीं ठीक है गड़बड़ कुछ नहीं बट हो सकता है बिकॉज देयर आर टू थिंग्स हियर एक हो सकता है कि आई हैव मे नॉट होमोजेनाइज प्रॉपर्ली एक हो सकता है कि टाइम ये तो ऑलरेडी सैंपल है ना जितना टाइम जाएगा उतना ओडी रिएक्शन करेगा जैसा हम तुमको बोले थे अच्छा और एक बात हम 2 प्रोपोनॉल क्यों मैंने पूरा यूज नहीं किया लाइक व्हाई डिड वी यूज कंप्लीटली 2 प्रोपोनॉल बिकॉज़ इट अंडरगोस esterification reaction ये याद रखना okay esterification reaction remember this that if we completely use 2 propanol as a solvent then what will happen is that we will be getting a compound called isopropyl salicylate that will hamper your OD or absorbance isopropyl salicylate जब चेक करना इसको ये याद रखो ई ना अरे ई वाला तो ये तो यूसी है ये ही है जब अच्छा इसको नहीं हेल्प करो हाँ गुड दूसरी बात ऐसा करना पड़ता एकदम एक ऐसा प्रेस मत करना धीरे प्रेस करो to fill up to 100%. That's most important. उसके बाद तुम कर लेते हो और तुम्हें पता है इसको वार्निंग हाँ एक कैप्सूल भी तुम्हारे से हाँ होगा 6 ना ओके ओके नहीं पागल का छोड़ दो बाकी स्टार्ट काम करो फटाफट ये सब क्या ये ई है ना सैंपल ये तो बाप रे अच्छा है स्टैंडर्ड का अच्छा स्टैंडर्ड का चलो हाँ चलो और ये सैंपल 5 सैंपल 6 का तो कोई एक कर लो फिर अलग कोई कर लो तुम क्या मान रहे हो कोई कर लो पूरा टाइम सस्ती नहीं नेक्स्ट बैच में तुम कर लेना हाँ ये टिश्यू कहाँ है टिश्यू कहाँ करो रूट में रूट फिर already I explained the things you also will explain to others what time you will make us you will say the unknown है ठीक है so what we will do is we will calculate the calculation of the unknown with the help of the standard term ये unknown है कुछ चाहिए तुम्हारा हाँ बस हो गया U3 unknown 3 इसको तुम लेके ये इसको लेके ये टेबल में लगा देना टेबल में सब कुछ ये अभी सब तीन करना इसको unknown 3 that is for the marking yes एक ही unknown है तुम लोग का ठीक है ये unknown आ गया ये unknown से तुम कैलकुलेट कर लो ये नोट कर लेना ओके सो एनी प्रॉब्लम एनी क्वेरीज सब सीख गए तो चलो नेक्स्ट को बुला लो ये ग्रुप 3 होना 3 होना 4 का बोला ग्रुप 4 को बुला